You'll have to email me, and then I will share the document that I made for you. I also made another document that ties to this third point. We have some things about sharing student work. So I didn't get as detailed in this section as I wanted to. Also don't know a whole bunch of people personally that use Canva, so I share my assignments. So what I did was I spent some time this past week and looked online for some resources and maybe just some professors and instructors who've put their assignments online. So I made another document with some sample assignments and links that I'll share if you like those. Also, because I asked this at the beginning of the session, if anybody has these sorts of assignments and want to share, if you do and you want to send them to me, I can hold them, and then if anybody emails me asking, I'll share those as well. I know this is a lot of text. What I did was just take a shot of one of my assignments from 232, which is American Lit 2. I simplified it down. I took out a lot of the language my students would have seen. At the end of a mini unit on Asian American literature, what I do is I create these categories. They have 4 categories of the things in history that we covered and the literature. The students have to choose one item from each category and then synthesize and analyze that with something that has visuals and at least 50 words. And I have students, sometimes students are hesitant for a number of reasons to learn something new. It could just be they're overwhelmed too, like I was last year. But I get pretty good feedback from students who try out Canva, and they say it was really user-friendly. And that slide and this slide has actual work that was turned into me in the past year. This is from my 273 class, which is African American literature. At the end of a particular week about the poetry of abolition, they had to create a visual that reflected their understanding and personal interpretation of the lesson, a poem, and then a video. And this one was made in Canva. And then the final way that I've come to use Canva is in assignment feedback. And this again goes back to how do I personally show my online students who I am? And one day they do such incredible work and they put in so much time and effort and heart. I just one day I remember very distinctly wanting to return that. And I mean, I always typed comments in the comment box, and there's certain assignments that I would type on the assignment. But I just really wanted a way to convey how much I appreciated them. And so I just opened up Canva and picked a template and started making these images of their feedback. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, about an hour in, I was like, what am I doing? I am crazy. I have all this work to do. I'm teaching an overload. But what I soon learned was that I could almost grade faster or as fast because I could keep reusing the same template. And so I learned that I could have this already made, copy and paste their name from Blackboard, put it right in there, maybe keep the first and the third part the same and just tailor the middle part. This first one is really simple if I just want to give a thank you for participating. If I wanted a more in-depth one, I could put on there, tailor it to if they had works to choose from, I'd put their choices and then say something personal. And then I realized, well, maybe I could wait to comment until after the end of like a mini unit. And so one semester I did an experiment where I waited until the end of a 4-week mini unit. And so I made a template feedback and I just commented something from each of the weeks that they did. The other one with the heart and the light bulb, I remember one particular class, I felt like I wanted to tell them what they did right or compliment them on something, but I wanted to push them to keep thinking or to think about something they had missed. And so I just used the heart for what, they did well, what I loved. And then here's something else. There's where you can take this further. The middle one I just did for the end of my 273 class as a sort of like parting gift. It was a bookmark that they could print if they wanted to. First of all, I did ask all of my students if anybody was opposed to cursive. If I asked them privately, like email me, so that I wouldn't use a cursive font if that was a problem. I also learn a lot about my students in the beginning of the semester, so if there's any, and I've talked about accessibility before, if anybody wanted any of their feedback in plain text without color, to let me know, and I would always accommodate that. So I would just type what I would have said on one of these. But what I did with this one is the feedback at the end of the semester was how much this had opened their eyes to all the people around them. So I kind of did it like where we started, that everything was, sort of black and white, and then that changed. And so I took something that they wrote in their final week of class, and I just copied and pasted it with quotation marks on the second part of the back of the bookmark. So it was from them.
We have a couple questions
Okay.
in the chat. So Erica is wondering what size you save your banner images as, because hers turned out huge.
Okay. Man, this is so awesome. She's doing this in real time. I have that. Off the top of my head, I would say 1280 by 720, but I might be wrong. But I made sure to make a note of that by looking at the details in my banners and putting that in the document, the how-to. I also learned in my experience to have a little bit of room on the right-hand side for whatever reason, and it just shows up better and then it doesn't get cut off. But yes, I have that information I will share.
Elizabeth also said that she has a question about accessibility.
I'm ready. Unless it's a private question. Elizabeth, do you want to ask it to everybody or?
Hi, we're having some construction in our office. So my question about accessibility was about if the Canva allows you to put like an alternate text so that when you put it into Blackboard or when you send it as your feedback, or if that's something that you're worried about, or if that's something that you're considering, or if you know certain students need more accessibility options that you deal with those individually, or sort of what your thoughts.
So me personally, I kind of at the beginnings ask about the cursive to let me know in whatever I'm having them do at the beginning of the semester, that either like an assignment where I get to know them, or maybe in the syllabus quiz, add that. But then I also say, I'll show them a sample of feedback that I've done, and if you're okay with this, you don't have to say anything. But if you would rather all of your feedback for the semester be plain text, please let me know. And then I just make a note of that so that I don't share those, and you know what I'm saying, and they need something else. For the other question about the alternate text in Canva. I have not explored if there's a feature in there that it will automatically do that, like maybe populate it at the bottom instead of me having to add it myself. Does that answer your questions?
Yes, I think so. Thank you.
Awesome. You're very welcome. Anybody else? Thoughts or questions? Okay, I just have one more slide and then I will shut this and we'll take a look at Canva. I'll let you visit Canva if you want. So you can even do video. And again, once these things are made in Canva, they're made forever. So all you have to do is change a student's name, download it, and then drop it into Blackboard. So that's a video feedback that I did in a class at the end of a 2-week unit, and all I had to change was the student's name on the very first slide. So I moved through those very quickly. I am not doing these every single week for every single. I'm always teaching an overload, 6 or 7 classes. Even last summer I had 6 classes. I am choosing very specific points along the way in the semester. So for one class, I might do, you know, at the end of weeks 11 and 12, they get one. Another class might be at the end of whatever. So again, this is very specific points and not all classes at once and not all classes every week. But it's proven to be a way to have the connection that I've made with them. Instead of me going to canva.com, how about I just stop sharing? And if you want to open up another tab and take a look at canva.com while we're in here, let me get into this chat and see what's happening in here. Oh, this, I see we have some questions. Does it allow you to add music, or did you do this on your own? And Nate's absolutely right. Canva, it has music. Now, I will say this. I really spoiled and ruined myself when I did the Canva Pro for 30 days. Oh, there was so much incredible stuff. But then when I went back to the free one, I was like, oh, I only have these 10 songs to choose from. But yeah, Canva allows you to put it in there. Again, really super user friendly. Erica found that 600 by 100 works for the banner. Thanks, Erica. That's awesome. Sabrina says, for the video, do you put it in announcements too? Oh, okay. So the video was actually assignment feedback. So at the end of their assignment for a unit that spanned 2 weeks, I just dropped that video right into Blackboard, into their feedback. So again, if you guys want to open up Canva in another tab, and I will stick around until, what are we, 2:15 for any questions. If anybody wants to ask questions in here now, or if you want to share, if you know more than I do, you've done things I haven't done, again, if you want to email me requests for the handouts that I did make for you, I'll send those to you. If you want to send me sample assignments that you have that ask students to create visuals, I will save them and share them. Whatever you guys want to do with the rest of the time, I wanted to have time for you to look at it on your own. I know this is a very busy time, so at least, 15 or 20 minutes so you could take a look at it.
Everyone also has the ability to share their screens. So if anybody felt inclined to share their computer screen while they're playing around in Canva, you could do that.
Ooh, that would be amazing. Okay, so it won't let you sign up K-12 anymore without proof. I don't know how I got it. Again, I don't know what happened. I just had the free one. I don't know if it just saw my .edu and here's a question. Did you try signing up for the K-12 to start with without already having another account? Maybe do what I did. Maybe get the free account and then go to the education landing page and try to click on something and see if it gives it to you, like me. Yeah, that might work. Hey, oh.
Hey guys, this is Ed. So I use Remind a lot to try to help my students stay on track. But Remind has, the text character limit, so you can create an image in Canva. I learned today, and attach the image. Attach the image with the Remind message to have a little more, text space available. So 228 is a local government finance class. That's why the money background. So I just use the Instagram post template, and we're going to give this a shot.
Wow, Ed, that is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Can you tell me one more time which template you chose?
I used an Instagram post template and just did a search for money because it's a finance class. So
quick and easy, right?
Yeah, we're going to let it fly and see what happens.
Just out of curiosity, how have you decided yet how you're going to download it? What format?
I have not. That's my next step.
Okay. Wow, I'm so glad you shared. That's awesome. It looks great.
Let's see if I download it as a JPEG. And I don't want it to be too large. So it's downloading, and I can go into my Remind screen if y'all want to stick with this. Might not be too interested in this. Okay. I don't know. What do I need to do here? Oh, no. I'm going to just take the download, and let's see if I go into my class and Remind. Let me share a different screen here. Share a different tab in. Oh wait, I have to stop sharing first, don't I? Anyone? Stop sharing. Let me share a new tab. Chrome tab. Let's go to my Remind. Okay. Discard this. And go to a new announcement and attach. Let's see if it'll let me find this as a photo in downloads. There it is. We're going to let it rip, and hopefully they can read it. Yeah.
Oh, this is so awesome.
Yeah, so, and the other thing, just as a heads up, Remind is cool because I go ahead and schedule all my module reminders ahead of time with the date and time, so that as the students, I've got 6 students joined so far. As the due dates come up, they're going to get reminded through text messaging 2 days before all their module due dates. So.
Wow, that is awesome.
Anyway, I'll get out of your way now.
No, you are 100,000,000% not in the way, and I super appreciate that you did that for us. I wouldn't even have known it could do that. Is anybody else here use Remind? Ed, I'm sorry, were you going to say something else?
No, no, I was just saying that you remind a lot like the other tool I use a lot is Flipgrid. Remind and Flipgrid have gotten a whole lot more powerful over the last just few years. So
Oh, well, if
and
you do a workshop,
now I need to revisit VoiceThread because VoiceThread's gotten a lot better too. I abandoned VoiceThread and went to Flipgrid about 2 years ago, and VoiceThread's gotten a lot more powerful. So I need to go back to that.
if you do a presentation on Flipgrid, I will attend. Thanks again.
That was last year. Hey, you can look it up. It's a recorded session. The one that Loy and I did last year. I got a little bit of Flipgrid in there, but Loy's presentation from last year is exceptional.
Do you know where they're saved or housed at?
Yeah, they're in the optional sessions that we have this afternoon.
Oh, I'll just go there
It's in
next then.
Yeah, they're all recorded.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, Erica said that she created 2. Let's take a look.
Let's see if I can get my screen share here.
Okay. I'm so excited.
So I created this, and then I got into Blackboard and I uploaded it, and this template was actually the classroom banner. I just searched it in right here. I did templates and classroom banner, and I did have to resize, so it came up a little bit smaller.
Okay.
And then I went into, I created one more. This was very helpful, and I did this one. So that worked out really much easier than on PowerPoint. So this is awesome, and I'm going to try the Remind thing. My question was, do you have to download the Canva app on your phone to do that through Remind?
That's a good question. Ed,
I think you could do it. I mean, in fact, I think I have the Canva app on my phone, so I'll play with that.
Okay. I wasn't sure because I don't do Remind on my desktop. I do that off my phone, but that was a great additive.
Yeah, I've got the Canva app, so I'll play with that for a minute and see. I don't see why I wouldn't download to your phone using the template through the app and then just add it in Remind.
Gotcha. Thanks.
That would be awesome. Erica, those look really, really good. And I'm super excited to hear you felt like that was easier.
I did. I've had to do a lot more in PowerPoint before, and therefore I haven't updated anything, but I love that these are just new and fresh, and I think the students appreciate the graphics.
Awesome. Yeah, I do too. Again, I think it makes a connection with them. Not only do they pay more attention and it looks personalized and it's just nice, I think they really appreciate it, and it adds something to the class. That's awesome. Anybody else? Something to share? Questions? Thoughts? Want to share your screen? Anything at all? I'm going to put I know Andy put my email in the chat. I'm going to put it in there again in case you want to email me again for the document that I made with the instructions on how to make a banner. Keep in mind, there's more than one way in Canva to do something, not just the way I've shown. It looks like Nate uses the banner landscape option. I've used the Facebook cover option, but I'm sure there's a number of templates in there that would work. There's also the ability to resize right when you're in there, so that and it still might take some playing around, like we've seen. Like I made it was a little too big. Could just go back and resize it real quick and try something else. But it is user friendly. I can also share with you, if you want, the other document with some people I found with other sample assignments or their reasoning for assigning this type of work to students, particularly having them create infographics and stuff like that, the benefits of that. I will still stick around until the end, if anybody wants to stay and chat, Elizabeth has reminded us about the discussion boards to talk about everything we learned. I learned something. I've never done the remind, and now we can do visuals in there. So yeah, I just want to thank everybody for coming, especially I know it's a busy time. So I appreciate your time and your participation and your community.
And I just want to say that I downloaded Elements in Canva and I found a whole bunch of teeth. So in the dental department, I'm very excited about this. So it's a great additive.
I'm so excited. You're going to have to send me pictures of those. Thanks, Andy. Thanks for being the moderator. Thanks, Nate. Appreciate your time. Thank you. You're welcome.
Hey, it's Ed again. I just checked on my app with Canva, and yeah, you can save an image created in the Canva app in all the formats, and then, you know, it would just end up in your directory on your phone, and then you can just upload it in your Remind app.
That's awesome. Thank you for checking on that.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the recording now.
Okay.